All right, welcome back, crime fighters, for another edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted, the program where you get to help make Calhoun County a better and safer place by helping us lock up the bad guys. I'm Chris Wright, along with Lindy Meter, who's now Chief Deputy.
Yes.
Lindy Meter from the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office. Congratulations on the promotion.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So, our first female Chief Deputy that we've had in Calhoun County, but this is not a first for you to be the first female for certain roles, is it?
No, it's not.
You've been first for how many different positions?
First sergeant, first lieutenant, first captain, first tactical commander. So only female on our tactical team. So there's been a lot of firsts.
You've earned your stripes along the way. Congratulations.
Thank
and I'm
you.
sure you're going to do a great job. And so what actually does that job entail? What are you going to be doing differently now?
Well, where my previous job was captain. It was over the law enforcement division. Now, not only will be responsible for over the law enforcement division, but also responsible for over corrections division. So that's a learning experience as well. So I'm trying to learn and see how everything operates on the corrections side, and hopefully great and wonderful things about it.
A very important job. Going down to the sheriff's conferences and such over the years, I've learned that there's not a successful sheriff anywhere in Alabama that doesn't have a good chief deputy.
Well, I hope Sheriff Wade is very successful.
I'm sure that he will be, continue to be. All right, so let's talk about what our viewers have done for us this week.
All right. We've got 3 new arrests, which brings our total up to 4,460 for the week, so that's great.
That's a huge number.
Yes.
4,460. We've been doing this for about 16 years, give or take, and the viewers have continued to help us. And it helps to get people into the system where they need to be, and it helps to save taxpayers money, because without this information, you might be driving around all over the place or just not able to even know where to start looking.
Right. Sometimes we may have an address on a warrant. It may not be a valid address. It may be an old one, or people move around, and so, or it may be a parent's address. And so there's a lot of times when we go out and deputies attempt a warrant and they're not there, and that's the reason why we put them on the most wanted show to help get a better address on them, try to get them located. And
sometimes people will say, well, those are your most wanted. They look at some of the crimes that people are wanted for, and they say, does that really warrant being there? Well, it's not the sheriff's office job to decide who is going to be punished for their crimes and who is not. You've got a list of people that are wanted for various reasons, and it's your job to bring them to justice.
Correct.
So, it's not about the particular crime that they committed. It's about, how we think you can help us get those individuals located, and you guys are doing a great job of that, and we greatly appreciate it. And we'll have the first half of this week's lineup in just a few moments when we come back on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. All right, here's what you came for. Our lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. We begin with Justin Buchanan of Oxford, who is wanted on a probation violation for receiving stolen property, first degree. Bradley Fincher of Munford is on a bond revocation for possession of a controlled substance. Janice Teague of Ragland wanted on a failure to appear warrant for possession of a controlled substance and use and possession of drug paraphernalia. Andrea Smith of Columbus, Georgia, wanted in Calhoun County for probation violation for possession of a forged instrument, second degree. Anita Hill of Lincoln wanted on a probation violation for criminal mischief, first degree. Christopher Bragg of Heflin wanted on a failure to appear warrant for obstruction of government operations. And Michael Warren of Altoona wanted on a probation violation for possession of a controlled substance. That's the first half of this week's lineup. More individuals coming up in just a few minutes. If you got some information, please contact Calhoun County Crime Stoppers at 256-238-1414. All right, we are back, and we'll have the second half of this week's lineup for you here in just a few minutes. But Lindy, I'm sure you've noticed that we're now officially in fall.
Yes, I can tell in the morning times the weather's
Some of
feeling
the
like
mornings
fall.
are feeling good. Still getting up into the 90s though in the
Yeah,
afternoon.
the
Doesn't feel like
afternoon's
it
not
yet.
so much.
But it's not going to be long before we hit into October and Oxford Fest coming up. Teresa Crossan,
Yes.
many of you know her like I do as Mrs. Bull. If you need a pull, call Bull. A lot of us have been rescued by Bull. I have multiple times. Have you ever had to call your own husband and say, hey, I need a tow?
Once, and it was not pretty. Yeah, I was way out on 431, got a nail in my tire, and I was like, dear, and he's like, you just gonna have to wait like everybody else. And I did.
I'm going to say that we've never had to wait on Bull. I'm going to say that.
Well, yeah.
I was going to say
Lucky
that
you.
too, but I don't want to. I don't want you to think you're the only person that has to wait for him.
Oh, I sat outside of a old service station, drank bottled pop, and waited for 2 hours on him, but he got to me, so.
I bet he makes sure that doesn't happen to you very often, though.
Correct. Yes, that is true.
All right, so you and Bull and a few other people work throughout the year to put on a festival in Oxford every year that is just a massive festival. I've seen a little bit of the inner workings on this. I've been to a committee meeting and such, and to put on a festival with as many people that come in, with the budget and resources that you have, frankly, I don't know how you do it.
Well, there are officially 9 of us on our board, Oxford Fest board, but without our volunteers, you know, Pastor Gary and his group, all of the community coming together, we would not be able to do this. So we are truly blessed to have the volunteers that we do have. And we are in our 32nd year. Mm-hmm. Yes, lovely. Still going strong. We project that we've probably put back into the community close to $300,000 with volunteer hours and the donations. You know, we are all—
That's a conservative estimate.
We are a nonprofit, so every dime we make does go back out into the community. And if it weren't for the brainstorming of, you know, Mr. Dorsey, Miss Peggy, you know, Danny Slick, all of those that started that so many years ago, you know, our founders, as we call them, we would not be here today. And we are just proud to carry that torch on.
There's a lot to love about Oxford Fest, but I'll tell you what I love the most. There are things, if you started charging admission and such, there are things that you could do to bring in big name acts and all this stuff and make it a fancier festival that I'm sure some people have encouraged you to do along the way every year probably. But you don't do that. You keep it a free festival. Even if you don't have a nickel to your name, you can walk down. You may not be able to buy the things that you see, but you can walk down, you can greet people, see folks that you haven't seen since the last Oxford Fest, and have a grand time without spending a single nickel.
And sit at our stage and watch our wonderful performers. You know, we're blessed. Our Sonny King Auto Group stage. This year, you know, Judge Alice Martin has got a surprise for us. She's got a new song she's going to sing for us. She does our opening ceremonies every year. We're excited to see what she's bringing us a surprise. You know, and our headliner, Hutch Edwards Project, always does a great job shutting down the show for us. And, you know, you can just come and watch, listen to the music, entertain yourself, greet people. It was started as a cake social, and we have kept that mentality through the 32 years. There's always something to do at Oxford Fest, even if it's just visit.
Yeah, and I'm sure you've been many times, Lindy.
I like the crafts. I'm a crafts type person, so all the fall decorations and stuff, I'm all about it.
And we probably have about 60% new vendors coming this year. We're
Wow.
excited for everybody to see the new downtown street project that's finished up and how we're going to lay everything out. It's going to be new. We're just excited for all the changes and the new vendors, but all of our old vendors are still going to be there. The gentleman that makes the airplanes out of the soda cans is still going to be with us. So our cheese straw vendor is still going to be there. So we're excited to see some new faces and greet some of the old ones back as well.
Things are really changing in downtown Oxford. Obviously, they've changed a lot over the 30-plus years that you've been doing this. But what do you think most people are going, if you haven't been to downtown Oxford since the last Oxford Fest, what are people going to be most surprised to see, you think?
I think people started seeing the changes last year, more ability to walk, more elbow room. We're kind of with the way that the streets are now, we've had to move some of the vendors from the center of the street to the sides, so there's going to be more walking room. Like I said, new vendors. We've shaken things up a little bit and put some new vendors in where they weren't before. And so we'll have a map at the stage so everybody can kind of follow through with what's going on. But it's exciting for us to see the changes, but stressful at the same time because there's always changes going on, and we're trying to adapt, adjust. But we're happy that it's over.
It's exciting for everybody else, stressful for you, but yeah, it is great. And let's just be honest, some of the things that are happening in that part of Oxford right now probably wouldn't be happening if Oxford Fest hadn't been there for all of these years.
That's what we've been told, that, you know, they've really worked with us, geared toward us, made us feel like that we were a part of the changes that were happening. There's been a few bumps and hiccups along the road, but like I said, we've adapted, we've adjusted, and we're still going strong.
All right.
For the new people and everything, where do they need what are the date, the times?
It is Saturday, October 5th. We start opening ceremonies at 8. If everybody could give the vendors time to get off of the street by 7:30 before they start showing up, we'll get all the traffic off the street, get the streets blocked for safety. Everybody should be geared up, ready to go by 8 o'clock. First Baptist Church parking lot is always a good. We will have the shuttles at the Quintard Mall again, shuffling people from, I think they're going to be outside Dillard's. They can just look for the shuttle sign, and they will be taking them back and forth.
Yeah. All right, we need to take a quick break. We want to talk some more about this in just a few moments when we come back. We'll have the second half of this week's lineup and more that you need to know for Oxford Fest coming up on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. All right, here we go with the second half of this week's lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. Demario Person of Douglasville, Georgia, wanted in Calhoun County for failure to pay for possession of a forged instrument, 2nd degree. Rhett Paris of Rainbow City wanted on a failure to appear warrant for possession of marijuana, 2nd degree. Philip Haywood of Lincoln wanted on a failure to appear warrant for domestic violence, 3rd degree harassment. DeMarcus Monroe of Heflin wanted on a failure to appear warrant for receiving stolen property, 2nd degree. Dwight Baird of Anniston wanted for violating the Sex Offender Registration Notification Act and a probation violation for the Community Notification Act. Kenneth Williams of Anniston wanted on a failure to appear warrant for negotiating with a non-negotiable instrument, that's passing bad checks, 11 counts. Do you have any information that can help us find any of these individuals? If so, please contact Calhoun County Crime Stoppers. The number is 256-238-1414. You could get yourself a cash reward of up to $1,000. All right, we'll have the Crime Watch segment coming up in just a few minutes. We'll talk about some property crimes that we need your help solving, so stick around for that. Also, our Crazy Criminal of the Week. But right now, Lindy, we're talking Oxford Fest. I love good festival.
Oh, yes, me too.
And Teresa Crossan is one of the people, one of the volunteers that makes this happen every year in downtown Oxford. I believe is the largest free festival in the state of Alabama?
Largest one-day free festival in the state of Alabama. We're proud of that.
Should be. Very proud of that. And so how many people?
Last year, OPD estimated between 30 and 35,000.
Wow.
In one day.
That is a chunk
That's
of
massive.
people.
That's massive. But, you know, you go around and you talk to the vendors and they say that they've had a good day. It makes you feel good that they've had a good day.
That's Oxford High School football stadium filled up like 3 times.
Really?
I don't know exactly what the capacity is, but I believe it's about that way, yeah. So that is a whole bunch of folks. It's bigger than sold out JSU Stadium.
Well, we've got some aerial views, and they're impressive.
They really are. So you couldn't possibly do this without some of the businesses and other sponsors that say, yeah, I want Oxford Fest to continue and be successful.
Exactly. We are blessed to have the sponsors that we have. Our gold sponsors are, you know, the Anniston Star, Coca-Cola United, Webb Concrete, Sonny King Auto Group is our stage sponsor. They sponsor our music every year. Without those sponsors, and then we've got Sonic of Oxford, McDonald's of Oxford, you know, Papa John's, they help feed the volunteers, and without those sponsors, we just would not be able to bring the money back to the community that we're able to bring back and to help all those that we help. That's truly our goal, and everyone on our committee's mindset is how many people can we help, how much Christmas can we buy, you know, what are we doing this for? And that's why we donate our time and our resources that we have to help bring this community together on Oxford Fest
So
Day.
let's make sure everybody understands, what are you doing it for?
We are doing it for children, people in need, the community, Calhoun County, surrounding areas, children who need school supplies, you know, someone who might need their power bill paid, you know, those in need. That's what this was founded on. That's what it will continue to be on. It's nonprofit. Nobody that works on this committee or its volunteers makes a dime.
And I've been there from the different aspects, just as a visitor coming in to participate. I've been there as a vendor selling some t-shirts and helping out with the church booth. I've been there with the TV station reporting on it and all that. And from every aspect, it's a very well run.
Did you win a door prize? Don't forget about our door prizes.
I don't think I've ever won a door prize.
We have door prize drawings every hour. The merchants of Oxford and Anderson have come together and they donate door prizes. And the committee itself sometimes buys door prizes. We give away $1,000 at 4 o'clock.
Wow.
So come buy a ticket and we will give away door prizes every hour on the hour. Sometimes it's as many as 10 door prizes an hour. And you know, from Dillard's, from I can't even think of all the places that give, you know, Applebee's, you know, gift cards. I mean, the community supports us well.
I hope you're ready for a massive crowd this year, because looking at the long-range forecast, and this could change, but right now it's looking like it's finally going to cool down a little bit for that weekend. And also, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Alabama's got an off week.
It
They're
does.
not playing, so this could be a record-breaking Oxford Fest once again.
Good. The more the merrier. And that we're excited about our new children's area as well. It'll be in Dr. Bernardi's old dentist lot. We've got a vendor who's coming in that's going to bring us several items for the children, so we're all excited to see what they bring.
That's awesome. So again, the first Saturday in October,
First Saturday in October.
8 a.m. until
4
4 p.m. And not a dime to just come. You can. We love you to spend a little bit of money while you're there, but you can come with an empty pocket and you'll be just fine. Have a great day.
Support our vendors. Find you something fall or Alabama or Auburn to go on your front door. Enjoy yourselves. Have some funnel cake,
Awesome.
lemonade. Yeah.
Thank you, Teresa.
Thank you.
All right,
you.
we got to take a quick break again. We will be back. We will have the Crime Stopper segment of the show and our Crazy Criminal of the Week on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. All right, let's see if you can help us solve some property crimes. Between September the 18th and September the 19th, a burglary occurred at a residence on Alexandria-Jacksonville Highway in Jacksonville. There was damage done to a door and some unknown items were removed from the home. And on September 20th, a theft of property report was filed after a black utility trailer was taken from a residence on Popular Drive in Alexandria. You think you can help us with either of these cases or maybe a different case? If so, please contact Calhoun County Crime Stoppers at 256-238-1414. We want your information, not your name.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
Lindy, have you ever arrested somebody that wanted to get arrested so they could go back to jail?
Yes.
It does happen.
Yes.
And sometimes it's because they don't have shelter or whatever and don't have a meal to eat and they just know they're going to get fed at least. Have you ever had anybody that got arrested because they wanted to go back to jail because they wanted to watch TV?
No, not really. Unless it's an Alabama game, then maybe that'd be the issue, but I don't know.
Our crazy criminal this week is a guy in France who spent some time in for burglary, and he really enjoyed a particular channel that they had, Canal Plus. They had that at the prison where he was staying, and he couldn't afford to get it when he got out. So he went out and committed some more burglaries, and intentionally he would spit in the places that he burglarized. So he was leaving his DNA to make sure he got caught. Told the cops he wanted to go back to prison so he could watch Canal Plus.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what that channel is.
Yeah, well, they got Johnny English movies, so that's good. Hopefully people are able to find a better way than going to prison. That's not a good answer.
No.
All right. That's all the time that we've got for this week. We will be looking for you again next week, but hopefully not because you left your DNA all over some burglary site or somewhere in the lineup here on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.